All right. So, up until this point, na-describe ko na sa inyo yung, let's say, how are you going to use your improved Neubauer counting chamber. Just a quick recap. Now, your chamber is a 3 by 3 millimeter, say 3 by 3 squared millimeter uh, counting chamber. The four corner large squares, which are subdivided into 16 squares. They are used for manual WBC count, and then the middle central square, which are further subdivided into 25 secondary squares, are used for manual red blood cell count. Alright, the depth of your improved Neubauer counting chamber is 0.1 millimeter. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Now, yung susunod na pag-uusapan natin is the dilution itself. Okay? Now, based do sa previous na slide, no, we are performing dilution for one of three things. Number one is to lessen the number of blood cells, lyse the cells that are not needed, and to stain particular cell type. So, nandun na tayo. Now, alright. So, dito sa part na dilution na ito, it refers specifically to red blood cell counting, ha? Now, so, nandun na tayo. Bago ko mag-proceed with this one, doon muna tayo sa general concept ng dilution. Okay? Kasi, mahirap kasi yung bigla tayo magpo-proceed sa red blood cell count and although yes, alam na natin how come manual cell counting requires dilution, explain ko na lang siya na very, very briefly lang naman. Okay, so we're talking about, so in order to perform dilution, you have to use diluting fluids, definitely. So, lalagay ko muna dito sa diluting fluids. So, bigay lang ako ng facts about your diluting fluids, no? Now, lagyan natin dito, no, since we're counting red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelets, ano yung general properties ng diluting fluids in relation to this blood cells, no? Red blood cell diluting fluids, white blood cell, and platelets. Alright, so for your red blood cells, our red blood cell diluting fluids, they are ideally isotonic. So, lagyan natin dito, they are ideally isotonic. Alright, now the main purpose on how come red blood cell diluting fluid has to be isotonic is to maintain the structural integrity of your red blood cells. So, I believe lahat tayo aware na that. Now, ang WBC diluting fluids nyo, they are ideally hypotonic. Alright? Ang logic behind that is because since we are only interested in counting white blood cells, in this case, kaya siya hypotonic, is in order to remove or to lyse red blood cells. No? Kasi hindi naman na yun yung pakay natin. Diba? So, ulit, for your WBC diluting fluid, it has to be hypotonic in order to lyse red blood cells. One classic example is your glacial acetic acid. Diba? So, nandyan tayo. Now, for your platelets, the general property of your platelet diluting fluid is that it has to be able to preserve your platelet integrity. In doing so, it also has to be able to inhibit platelet aggregation. So, it makes perfect sense. Kasi pag nag-aggregate ang platelets mo, hindi mo na sila mabibilang. So, ang logic natin, yung general property ng platelet diluting fluids nyo is number one, it has to preserve platelet integrity. Lagay ko na lang dito. It has to preserve platelet integrity. And then number two, while inhibiting. So, lagay natin dito. While inhibiting platelet aggregation. Kasi I really don't think mabibilang mo pa ang platelets kapag nag-aggregate na sila, no? And the best example would be your 1% ammonium oxalate. No? That is for your platelet count. Right? Lagi na lang natin dito. Example is your 1% ammonium oxalate. Alright? So there you have it. No? It's quite easy. Alright. So nandyan lang, no? General properties ng diluting fluids nyo for manual cell counting. So, magpuproceed na tayo with red blood cell count proper. So, ayun na ha. Para magkaroon na ng context, lalagay ko dito. Saan na tayo, sir? Red blood cell counts. Ayan. Manual red blood cell count. For starters, I would like you to understand na you are never going to use or you are never going to perform manual red blood cell count. Alright? The level of inaccuracy is just plain absurd. No? Sobrang inaccurate niya. Let's say. No? Actually, ang manual red blood cell count nyo po is considered as an obsolete procedure. Okay? Never nyo na siyang gagawin. Obsolete na siya. Alright? In contrast, ang WBC count nyo po, no, it still retains its accuracy across experiment. So, okay pa yan. No? Kaya ang WBC count hindi nagiging obsolete. Okay? So, nandyan tayo na. Now, dito na tayo sa dilution. Guys, I really don't think I have to explain this one to you. No? For in performing manual red blood cell count, the dilution step requires na you suck blood until the 0.5 mark, and then it will then be followed by the aspiration of diluting fluid until the 101 mark. Okay? So in here, we are using pipettes. Diba? Now, pasuyo na lang, no? The standard dilution for your red blood cell count is 1:200. Lagay ko dito, ha? Yan po yung standard. Nagiging mahalaga yan. Well, magiging mahalaga yan later, no? Dagdagan na, ipapile up natin yung knowledge, no? Alright? So, the standard dilution is 1:200. Now, basically, if you're going to follow this step, makukuha mo yung 1:200. Okay pa? Yun lang. So, you really don't have to worry about it. Now, ang pipette po na ginagamit is the RBC Toma pipette. The RBC Toma pipette. Now, sa board exam natin ng local, I'm not sure kung tinatanong pa rin to. Pero madali lang naman eh. Sa boards, tatanong sa inyo, it's either kailangan nyong malaman yung main difference ng red blood cell pipette, Toma pipette, and the WBC Toma pipette. Now, ang main differences lang naman nila is yung markings, yung color ng bead, saka yung volume ng bulb. Makakalimutan ha. Come again, sir. Ang primary differences ng dalawa is in terms of their markings, the color of the bulb, the color of the bead within the color of the bead within the bulb, tapos yung volume na kayang i-hold ng bulb. Alright? So, mag-start ako sa Toma pipette na. Lagay ko dito yung markings, yung color ng bead, tapos yung volume ng bulb. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. This one, dito naman 1, 2, 3. Ang markings ng red blood cell Toma pipette ay 0.5, 1, and 101. Meanwhile, sa WBC, 0.5, 1, and 10. 11. 10. 11. Ayan. Ang color ng bead ng red blood ng RBC Toma Pipette ay red. Meanwhile, ang color ng bead ng WBC ay white. Makakalimutan tong pangalawa, or colorless. Okay po. Ang volume ng bulb ay 100 for the RBC Toma Pipette. Ang volume ng bulb for the WBC Toma Pipette ay 10. Okay po. So, napakadali ha. So, basic. Kayang-kaya nyo yan. Alright. So, doon na tayo sa dilution proper. Alam mo na kung paano mag-dilute. Alam mo na kung bakit mo dinidilute. Now, paano naman yung characteristics ng diluting fluids. Okay? Now, nakalagay dito sa left side nyo yung different diluting fluids nyo. Nakalagay dito yung components. Alright? Now, hindi ko yan didiscuss isa-isa, no? Kasi that would be ang redundant na, no? Now, bibigay ko na lang sa inyo yung mga hindi siya nice to know. Yung mga mahalagang what you call this? Maybe I'm just gonna give you some of the facts na you should never forget. Okay? Now, board exam question number 1. What is the best diluting fluid for red blood cell count? Ito po yun. Come again, sir. What is the best? Dagdagan na natin dito. The best diluting fluid. The best diluting fluid for manual red blood cell count. Alright? Formal citrate or Day's fluid. Okay po? Ayan. Now, ano pa? Let's say for example, nagsasuffer ka sa spontaneous clumping ng red cells. Pinapaganda ko lang, no? Spontaneous clumping ng red cells, yun po yung kilala nyong stack of coin appearance. Lagyan na lang dito. Stack of coin appearance. Yun po yung kilala nyo na row formation. Okay. So, yun yung rolo na kilala nyo. Row formation. Okay. Stack of coin appearance. Paano mo siya i-resolve? We're going to use NSS. Bigay ko sa inyo rule of thumb sa laboratory na for every time na makaka-encounter kayo ng rolo formation sa kahit anong department, the most convenient, let's say, yung get-go na remedy para sa ganung situation, just add MSS, no? Mangyari, madidisperse mo yung rulo. Alright? So, yun lang ha. Iiwan ko na sa inyo to. Now, dito na tayo sa manual cell counting proper. Alright. Now, for your manual cell counting proper, madali lang naman. As in, sobrang dali lang. Charge the chamber, count the red cell, check the distribution, and check the differences in between the cell counts of your two chambers. Alright. Now, nagawa nyo na to sa lab, no? I would definitely at this point nagawa nyo na siya sa lab. Yeah, and what about it, sir? So, di ko na masyadong i-describe, no? Now, maybe you can refer to your manual. So, sige na nga, since nandito naman tayo sa lecture. Sige, pabibilisin ko lang ng konti, no? Now, step 1 is to aspirate blood until 0.5 mark, diba? Aspirate blood until 0.5 mark of your RBC Toma Pipette. Then, number 2, aspirate diluting fluid. Diba? Ganun lang naman yun. Aspirate diluting fluid up until the 101 mark, di ba? If you're using the red blood cell Toma Pipette. And then, step 3 is to shake. No? Not too vigorously, ha? Shake your pipette to allow mixing of your red cells and diluting fluid within the bulb. So, nandiyan kayo, no? And then, step 4 would be discharge a few drops dun sa stem nung Toma Pipette nyo, no? So, lalagay natin dito, discharge a few drops dun sa stem kasi it contains pure diluting fluid. And then, step 5 is to charge your counting chamber. Diba? So, dito na tayo. Charge the counting chamber, count your red cells, check the distribution. Paano ko i-check yung distribution, sir? A general rule is dapat hindi sila nag-overlap. Diba? It's that simple. And then, step 5 would be to check the differences in between cell counts of the two chambers. Long story short, you should take the average. And then, pagka take mo ng average, perform your formula, or apply your formula rather, and then, you're good to go. Okay, so, dun tayo sa technicalities na. So, I hope alam nyo na to. Now, guys, ito yung ini-explain ko sa inyo just a while ago. So, doon sa first part nung recorded na lecture. Now, at this point, magkakaroon na tayo ng different na approach. Kanina, ang approach na ginawa ko is almost as if I'm trying to teach you simple math. I-breakdown lang natin. Mabilisan na lang. Alright? So, alam nyo na to. Your improved Neubauer ruling is divided into 9 square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The total area is 3 mm by 3 mm for, so 9 mm squared. Okay? 9 squared millimeter. Alright? The 4 corner square are subdivided into 16 squares used for manual WBC count. Meanwhile, this one, yung large central square, which is subdivided further into 25 intermediate square, you're going to take 5 from this 25, and that is the one used for manual red blood cell count. Ito yun. Right? So, it's napaka-basic, no? Now, what's up with that, sir? Sinabi ko sa inyo doon sa first part ng video na tawag dito, tinatanong siya sa boards kasi, kaya ganun na lang yung emphasis. Pagbigyan nyo na yung mga prof nyo kung ang kulit-kulit nila dito sa part na to, binigay ko naman na sa inyo kung paano siya i-compute, di ba? O, paano mo matatake yung area ng secondary square sa WBC? E di, etong 1 by 1 mo, so, 1 millimeter times 1 millimeter is equals to 1 squared millimeter. Tama ba? Para makuha mo yung area ng isang secondary square from your primary WBC square, yung 1 millimeter, i-divide mo sa 16. Okay? Kasi 16 yan. No? Ayan. So, ganun lang. Same concept apply sa mga red cells. Na-explain ko na doon sa first part. We're good. Sige. So, dito tayo sa doon na tayo sa actual na calculation wherein paano ba nakukuha yung ganito kasi, no? Doon sa first part ng video, na-explain ko sa inyo kung paano siya i-compute. Now, taking into account kung paano mo makukuha yung volume ng area na kino-compute mo. And then right now, what you are witnessing is paano may perform yung actual procedure ng manual cell counting. And dito tayo nag-end up sa, let's say for example, na perform mo na yung manual red blood cell counting. Okay? So take natin yung example, no? Now, halimbawa, dito sa PowerPoint na ginagamit natin, so take note na ang binibilang natin for manual red blood cell count is tong 5 na to. Okay? So, for example daw, sa square 1 mo, 8, 2, 15, 3, 22, 4, 11, 5, 25. Right? So, yun yung nabilang mo. Okay? Keep in mind na, yes, so let's say for example, nagawa mo na yung procedure mo, tapos, nagbibilang ka na ngayon, meron kasi tayong ina-apply na let's say criteria in order for us to say na okay yung ginawa nating procedure, no? Kumbaga, nandun na tayo sa point na tama kaya yung pag-aspirate ko ng blood, tama kaya yung pag-aspirate ko ng diluting fluid, tama kaya yung mix ko nung pipette, tama kaya yung pag-discharge ko. Paano ko malalaman lahat yon? After ko magbilang, mag-implement ako ng criteria. Paano criteria yon? Okay? Criteria number 1, dapat no more than 20 cell difference exists in between the secondary or intermediate squares. Come again, sir. Ito yun, so, criteria number 1 is that dapat daw no more than, ganun nyo siya i-take na, no more than 20 cell difference exist in between my secondary secondary or intermediate square. Paano yun, sir? So, ganito. Diba, ito is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Para malaman mo, ganito ha, take mo yung highest tsaka yung lowest na count in between those squares. So, in this case, ang lowest na count is nandun sa square 1. So, dito sa square 1 mo, nabilang mo 8 na red blood cells. Alright? Hain yung lowest. Diba? Susunod is, hanapin mo ngayon yung highest. Asan yung highest? Yun nandun sa square 5. Naman dito sa square 5 mo, ang nabilang mo ay 25 daw. Alright? Paano mo makukuha to? So, 25 minus 8 equals 25. My God. 25 minus 8 is 17. Ba? Ayan. So, 17. Less than 20 ba siya? Yes. Kung less than 20 siya, so is it less than 20? Yes. Ibig sabihin, pasok na yung counting mo do sa first criteria. Alright? Paano pasok, sir? Ibig sabihin, could be na there's nothing wrong with what you just did do sa procedures na ginagawa mo. In this case, yung manual red blood cell count. Alright? Now, yung susunod na criteria, dalawa lang naman for red blood cell count. So dito, ito yun, yung pangalawang criteria, the allowable difference that exists in between the chamber counts is within 10%. The allowable difference in between chamber counts is within 10%. Anong ibig sabihin nun, sir? Right. So, babalik tayo, no? Punta tayo dito sa Neubauer nyo, ha? Ayan. Diba? So, sa first part ng video, ng recorded lecture, sabi ko sa inyo, ang Neubauer nyo, may dalawang ruled area separated by an age-shaped moat. Ba? Ang ginagawa natin, people, magbibilang tayo dito sa ruled area na to, tapos magbibilang tayo sa ruled area na to. Okay? Kasi the one serves as a check for the other. Ganyan lang naman kasimple. So, ganito. So, let's say, tapos mo na nagawa yung procedure. Ngayon, ang bilang mo daw dun sa chamber 1 ay 450. Okay, ibig sabihin dun sa yung bilang mo daw dito, 450. Yung bilang mo daw dito, 424. Yun yung ibig sabihin niya. Okay? Paano mo i-apply yung rule? First, i-take mo yung difference ng dalawang counts. Okay? So, paano yun? Paano yung difference na? So, 450 minus 424 is equals to 26. Ayan. Diba? Susunod, kunin mo yung average ng dalawang cell count. Paano mo makukuha yung average niyan? Simple lang. Yung 450, i-plus mo sa 424, tapos i-divide mo sa 2. Ano magiging sagot? Magiging average ngayon yan ay 437. Okay? So, ito yun. So, paano siya? Yung 26, divide mo sa 437, tapos, i-multiply mo sa 100. Okay? So, i-work up ko yung formula, ha? So, difference in between two counts, 26. Average is 437. Times 100, ang magiging result niyan ay 5.94%. Within 10% ba? Absolutely. So at this point, mako-confirm mo na tama yung ginawa mong procedure. Okay? Ngayon, ano yung i-apply mo doon sa formula? Siyempre, ang i-apply mo doon sa formula, yung average ng dalawang counts. Which is this one. Okay? So, paano mangyayari dyan, sir? Mangyayari dyan, pwede ka na mag-proceed sa formula. Paano yan, sir? 437 times the dilution factor divided by the volume na ginamit mo dun sa red blood cell count. Okay? The one that I have just described dun sa previous na video. Okay? Huwag ka mag-alala. Dadating tayo kung paano ka mag-arrive dito, saka paano ka mag-arrive dito. Okay? Just stick around. Sige, i-plug na natin yung data. Yung sa red blood cell count, sabi ko sa inyo, ang standard dilution niya ay 200. Diba? Tapos, sabi ko sa inyo, ang volume na ni-utilize kapag nagpa-perform ka ng RBC count, tapos ang ginamit mong area ay yung 5 intermediate squares ay 0.02. Diba? 0.02. So, pwede mo na siya i-work up ngayon. So, paano yan, sir? 437 times 200. Ano magiging sagot? 437 times 200 is 87,400. Yung 87,400, divide mo ngayon na sa 0.02. Ano magiging sagot mo? Magiging answer mo ay 4,370,000 per cubic millimeter red blood cells. Okay po? So, mataas ba yan, sir? Hindi yan mataas kasi ang normal range ng red blood cell mo ay 4 to 5 million per cubic millimeter. Okay? So, yeah. Success. Alright? Now, nandiyan ka. Alright. Now, umuna tayo ng konti. Kasi I can't help myself, no? Kasi nga, actually, dapat alam nyo na to eh. Sa AUBF, tinuturo na siya, no? Sa sperm count. So, ngayon, nandito na tayo. Ibibigyan ko lang ng justification yung PowerPoint, ha? Although, ito na yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na sakit ng mga medtech na i-overcomplicate tong concept na to, no? Na what I just did, ang ginawa kong approach is, ang ginawa kong take, binigay ko sa inyo kung paano nyo madederive yung volume. Inaral natin kung paano ko paano mo ipe-perform yung procedure. Nag-apply ka ng criteria, ginamit mo yung formula, tapos ang red blood cell count. Okay? Now, sige. So, sabihin na lang natin, no, kaya ino-overcomplicate kasi baka tinatanong this. Tinatanong naman talaga. So, i-justify lang natin. Sige, ang depth ng improved Neubauer counting chamber nyo will always be 0.1. Ang area ng 1 red blood cell square, the area of 1 red blood cell square, meaning to say, this one, sinabi ko na sa inyo kanina sa previous video, no? Yung area nito is 1 by 1, diba? So, hinati daw sa 25 intermediate square. So, para makuha mo ang area ng isang RBC square, 1 divided by 25, 0.04 squared millimeter. Alright? Now, since we are using 5 intermediate square for standard red blood cell count, what is the total area count? Simple lang. Just do your math. 0.04 squared millimeter multiplied by 5. Ito yung makukuha mo sagot. 0.2. Alright? Paano mo makukuha yung volume? I-multiply mo doon sa depth ng Neubauer chamber. Magiging 0.02 cubic millimeter. Okay? So, andyan na tayo. Nakuha mo na yung denominator doon sa generic formula natin. Alright? So, yes. Nandun na tayo. Now, I-emphasize ko, ha? Oo. Yoko talaga ng mga ganito. Nakalagay dito, other values needed. No. Like, hard no. Yes. Kaso, baka itanong din sa exam na, pagbigyan na natin. Sige, the dilution factor is 1:200. Now, bigay ko sa inyo kung anong significance nito, ha? So, di-describe ko kung ano ba to dilution correction factor, kung ano ba tong volume correction factor, tapos ano ba tong multiplying factor. Okay? So, mag-draw ako ng line dito. Yan. Ano ba yan? Sige. Now, dun muna tayo sa goal. Ano bang goal mo? Bakit mo kailangan malaman yung tong mga factors na to? Okay. Start tayo sa dilution kasi hindi na siya it can change, pero if we are following the standard procedure for manual red blood cell count, it will always be 1:200. It can change. It depends upon the situation. Huwag mo na ngayon. Okay. Now, so ganito, no? You need to compute for your dilution correction factor and volume correction factor in order to acquire, alright, the accurate multiplying factor, or in order to arrive with your with the correct multiplying factor. Okay? Kasi ang multiplying factor is dilution correction factor plus volume correction factor. Alright, so yun yun. No? Kailangan mo to malaman, tsaka ito, para mag-arrive ka dito. This is the simple. Ngayon, ang question, ano ba yung multiplying factor? So, sa ko ba gagamitin, sir, yung multiplying factor? Alright? So, magbibigay ako sa inyo ng ano, ha? Magbibigay ako sa inyo ng, ano ba? Sige. Ganito. Guys, sa manual cell counts, ng WBC, red blood cell, and platelets, meron tayong tinatawag na single factor. Okay? Come again, sir, sa manual cell count for WBC, alright, sorry, for manual cell count ng red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelets, meron tayong tinatawag na single factor. Sir, ano po yung single factor? Kaya siya tinawag na single factor. You can use that factor in order to compute for your cell count directly, provided na you are following the standard procedure. Right? Come again, sir. Kapag daw nagpe-perform ka ng red blood cell count, ng WBC count, saka ng platelet count, meron daw tinatawag na single factor. Single factor. Alright? And please take note, kasi ito kasi talaga yung tinatawag, ito talaga yung term. Yung single factor, yun po yung multiplying factor. Okay? Now, ang ibig sabihin ng single factor, it is a factor. Integer siya. Number. Na you can use in order to compute your cell count, provided that you are following the standard procedure. Nalagay ko dito, ha. Inyong requirement number 1. Kailangan sinusundan mo yung standard procedure nung cell count bago mo magamit yung single factor na to. Okay? In short, guys, sa red blood cell, ang logic, kapag ang dilution mo ay 1:200, tapos ang kinount mong area ay is yung 5 intermediate squares ng red na, or yung yung 5 red blood cell squares. Kung ilan yung mabibilang mo, pwede mo na lang yung i-multiply sa 10,000. Meron ka na ng number of cells per cubic millimeter. Ganun siya gumagana. Okay? Bigay ko na din. Ang single factor sa WBC ay 50. ang single factor sa platelet count ay 1,000. Okay? Provided na you are following the standard procedure. Okay? So, sa red cells, alam na natin. So, ibig sabihin, sir, kanina, yung 437 ko, pwede ko na lang i-multiply sa 10,000. Yes! Provided na ang dilution mo ay 200, tapos, nagbilang ka dun sa area ng 5 red blood cell square. So, tingnan nyo, tatama naman, di ba? O, 437 times 10,000, para hindi na kayo mahirapan. Pag nagmumultiply kayo sa tens, tanggalin nyo yung 1, idagdag nyo lang yung mga 0 dun sa whole number. May natutunan ka na naman, simple math. So, nangyari, dagdag mo yung 0, ilan yung 0? 4. Oh, same ng result kung paano natin kinumpute kanina. Right? So, ngayon, so alam mo na, may laman na kung bakit natin siya pinag-uusapan na. So, paano yun, sir? Ganito yun. So, para makuha mo yung multiple, paano nag-arrive doon sa 10,000? Ito yun yung pinag-usapan natin, di ba? So, paano nakuha yung multiplying factor? Unang mo kailangan malaman is yung dilution correction factor. Dilution correction factor. Katanga to. Sige. Paano daw siya dinidefine yung dilution correction factor? Reciprocal daw siya ng dilution. Bakit, sir? Ang formula daw ay total volume divided by the volume of blood. Kasi lagyan ko ng laman, no. Ang formula ng dilution ay yung volume, lagyan natin yung context. Yung volume ng solute divided by the total volume. Okay? Volume ng solute. So, ito yun, yung volume ng blood divided by the total volume. Yun yung formula ng dilution. Para makuha mo yung formula ng reciprocal ng dilution, baligtarin mo. Okay? Diba? So, paano ba yan, sir? Tingnan mo. Paano natin siya ginawa? Suck blood. Okay. So, yung total volume na 100. Diba? Doon sa toma pipette natin, no? Tapos, yung volume ng blood mo na 0.5. Ang dilution niya ay 1:200. Diba? Kunin, or 100 divided by 0.5, 200. Dilution correction factor. Or, kasi ganito yan, guys. 1:200. Pag kinuha mo yung reciprocal niya, 200:1. Ito yun. Yung dilution correction factor. Alright? Susunod is yung volume correction factor. Paano yun nako-compute, sir? Simple lang. Yung volume correction factor mo daw, volume correction factor. So, yung total volume sa isang primary square is 1 cubic millimeter. Diba? Tapos, yung ginagamit lang natin sa red blood cell count is yung 0.02 cubic millimeter. You do the math. 1 divided by 0.02, 50. Alright? Ito na. 50. Yung 50, which is your VCF, times 200, which is your DCF, meron kang 10,000. This is your multiplying factor or single factor na you can use in order to compute for your red blood cell count. Ay, ayan. So, yun lang. So, alam mo na yan. So, explain ko na lang. Baka lang. Kasi alam nyo, guys, di nyo na ito kailangan eh. Pag sinunod nyo yung unang formula na ginagamit natin. So, doon tayo sa area factor down. Reciprocal of the total area counted. Area naman. Total area is ng isang primary square ay 1 squared millimeter. Ilan lang yung binibilang natin sa red blood cell count? 0.2. So, anong area factor mo? 5. Ang depth factor, reciprocal ng depth, 1 divided by 0.1 is 10. Okay po? Baka naman magagamit nyo din yan somehow. Great. Sige. Now, dito tayo. Magagamit nyo nga. Magagamit nyo nga. So, say, gusto mong magagamit mo siya? Yes. Let's say, gusto mo lang pahirapan yung sarili mo. Oo. So, wag na. Now, ito yung formula na din-describe ko sa inyo just a while ago. Number of cell counted times dilution factor, area counted multiplied by the depth is your volume. Alright? Lagay ko dito. This is your volume utilized. Alright. Now, sabi sa PowerPoint nyo, yung mga formulas daw na naka-in red, yan daw yung mga formula na na-mention sa Rodax. Totoo naman. Kasi, sabihin na lang natin, no, since I'm following Kyohane, pag yan kasi yung ginamit nyo, guys, infallible na yung ginagawa nyo. No? Hindi nyo na kailangan ng area factor, ng depth factor, all of those factor. Hindi nyo na siya kailangan. No? Pag ito yung ginagamit, ayun yung ginagamit nyo, we're good to go. No? I-explain ko lang tong content. No? Bakit? So, yan kasi hindi ko pa na-justify. Justify ko na lang din para sa inyo. Guys, ang purpose kung bakit merong ganyang, merong secondary formula, ang purpose po niyan is, it is an equivalent formula na design, alright, na you can use in order to bypass if you don't want to compute for the total volume. Right? Diba, kanina, yung approach dito, diba, inaalam mo muna yung total volume nung ipa-perform mong manual cell count. Kung gusto mo i-bypass yun, magpunta dito, straight. Ano kailangan mo ngayon dito? Alright. Bigay ko yung yung number, yung 10, that is your depth factor. Diba? Yung gamitin nga natin. Yun yung depth factor, yung number 10. Fix yun, people. Hindi siya nagbabago. Yung depth factor, it will always be 10. Okay? Now, yung dilution factor, of course, nagbabago siya. Diba? Nagbabago siya. Now, yung, nagbabago siya, it depends upon the case, malalaman nyo later. Pero if you're following the standard procedure, ang dilution factor dyan ay 200. Diba? Ayan. Now, yung area counted natin, ano yung area counted natin? Yung, ano nga yung binibilang natin? Wait lang. Let me just do my math. So 1 divided by 25, 0.04 times 5 is 0.2. Okay? 0.2 squared millimeter. Okay? That is 1. 0.2 squared millimeter. Alright? So, ano mga kailangan mo dyan? Yung dilution factor, time, which is constant, tapos area counted, which can also be constant. Alright, so, nandiyan ka. No? Now, explain ko na lang din tong number of cell counted, emerald. Actually, yun yung kanina, no? Paano ba yun, sir? Now, yung depth correction factor, tsaka yung volume correction factor. Diba? So, sana napapasin nyo yung struggle ko, no? Kasi nga, hindi na dapat ganun eh. Diba? So, i-plug na lang din natin. Yung depth correction factor mo ay 50, yung volume, so, depth correction factor. Yung dilution correction factor nyo ay 200, yung volume correction factor nyo ay 50. Diba? Just imagine, para magamit mo tong mga formula na to, itong formula na to, kailangan mo pang mag-compute ng ibang formula or pasakitin mo pa yung ulo mo. No? So, you can just master yung first two base formula natin and then you're good to go. Alright? It's not like kapag nasa practice kayo, o gamitin mo nga yung formula na kailangan na gumagamit ka ng DCF saka VCF. What the fuck? Alright. So, I think you get my point. Okay? Now, kung magkakaroon man na significance tong mga yung iba't ibang formula na to, bigyan ko kayo ng ng tip. Ha? Let's say ang inadapt mong approach is yung kung paano ko siya in-explain sa inyo. Ginamit mo yung base formulas. Ha? Ano nga sir yung mga base formulas ko? Yung mga base formula natin na yung naka-highlight in red, 'di ba? Sige, so ito yung mga say mo ginamit mo tong mga base formula mo. Paano mo ma-check kung tama yung result mo? 'Yon. Kasi dapat pare-pareho yan ang magiging result. What if ang gamitin mong pang-check is yung formula na to? Diba? Paano pang-check, sir? Matandaan nyo kanina, yung result natin dito ay 437. Diba? Tapos pinark-up natin yung formula, naging result natin ay 4,370,000 per cubic millimeter. Yeah? Gamitin mo ngayon tong single factor para ma-check. Diba? Kasi dapat pareho na magiging result eh. Now, guys, i-adapt nyo na lahat ng formula. Wag lang to, no? I-adapt nyo na lahat ng formula. Wag lang to. Bakit, sir? Sige. Sige. Mag-iisip ka pa eh. Ano nga yung area factor? Ano nga yung depth factor? Ano nga yung dilution factor? Alright? So, wag nyo na lang gawin sa sarili nyo yun. Okay. So, I think that's it for your red blood cell count computations. Sige. So, iwan ko to sa inyo ha, yung sample computation. You have your PowerPoint with you. No? Iwan ko ba? Hindi ko siya maiwan. Sige. Tapusin ko na lang din yung recorded lecture para may... Sige na. Tapusin ko na lang yung material para na-satisfy ko naman na-justify ko naman yung cell count. Okay? Now, so, for the sample computation number 1 is, what is the red blood cell count of a patient with the total number of 450 erythrocytes in 5 central red blood cells square? Okay. Every time kapag may na-encounter yung mga estudyante na ganito, ang approach nila is, they look back do sa ginawa nilang procedure, tapos sasabihin nila, nasan sir yung count ng chamber number 2? Ganyan. Medyo nawawala yung common sense. So, in this case, kapag ganito na yung given, ibig sabihin, ito na yung value na dapat mong gamitin for your formula. Alright? Now, so, i-approach ko yung problem sa paraan na gusto ko. Kasi alam ko naman how the formulas work. So, gumamit, by the way guys, hindi nakalagay kung ano yung dilution factor na ginamit. No? Obviously, you have to come up with a solution. So, definitely, ang pina-follow na procedure dito is yung standard. Diba? So, na number ng cells counted ay 450. I-multiply ko sa dilution factor na 200. Tapos, i-divide ko sa total volume ko na 0.02 cubic millimeter. Kasi yun naman talaga. Diba? So, magiging sagot ko dyan ay 4,500,000. 4,500,000 per cubic millimeter. Kung ayaw mo ng per cubic millimeter, ilalagay ko dito 4,500,000 per microliter. Kung, guys, bigyan ko kayo ng idea, no? Sa red blood cell count, isa pang nami-miss out ng mga tao Kasi guys, actually, sa mga sumusunod na discussion, dapat alam nyo na to, na. So, ang per cubic millimeter saka per microliter, sabihin na, lagyan na natin siya ng tag, no? Let's just say, these are your traditional manner on which you are expressing your manual cell count. Diba? Or conventional. Kasi merong SI sa, meron kasing SI. Merong SI, sir. So, ngayon, ang SI expression ng red blood cell count ay times 10 to the 12 times 10 to the 12 times 10 to the 12 per liter. Okay? Paano mo siya ma-express in terms of times 10 to the 12 per liter? Okay, i-round off. Gamitan mo muna ng scientific notation. Paano scientific notation? Yung per microliter, kailangan mo muna siyang ma-convert into times 10 to the 6th per microliter. So, in this case, pakiasog mo lang yung decimal point ng 6 na beses. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, ang mangyayari dyan, ano siya? So, 4.5 times 10 to the 6th per microliter. Diba? Kapag 4.5 times 10 to the 6th per microliter na siya, pwede mo na siya i-convert sa times 10 to the 12 kasi magiging pareho na lang yon ng number of integers. Okay? So, pwede mo na siyang gawing 4.5 times 10 to the 12 per liter. So, it's that simple. Alright? Ulit, yung result na nakukuha mo sa Neubauer per cubic millimeter. It just so happen na ang per cubic millimeter nyo equivalent sa microliter. Yung microliter, gawin mo muna siya scientific notation or exponential notation, 10 to the 6 per microliter. So, asog mo yung decimal point 6 times to the left. So, magiging 4.5 times 10 to the 6 per microliter. Equivalent na ngayon siya sa 4.5 times 10 to the 12 per liter. Okay pa? So, pakiusap, napakadali. It's a rather basic concept na dapat alam nyo na yun. So, we're good. Sige. Now, alright. So, dun tayo sa number 2. Pabibilisin lang natin ng konti, no? Now, sa chamber 1 nyo daw, 540. Sa chamber 2 nyo, 529. Okay. Now, syempre, ito yung problem na binigay sa'yo. So, meron kang chance na i-check kung pasok ba sa criteria mo, di ba? Paano ko masasabi, sir, na pasok sa criteria ko yan, di ba? So, hindi na sa'yo binigay yung cell counts per squares, per secondary squares. Kailangan mo na lang i-check kung pasok ba siya sa within 10% variation, di ba? Paano nga ulit yun, sir? Kunin mo muna yung difference ng chamber count. So, 540 minus 529 is 11. Alright. So, yung difference nila ay 11. Tapos, yung average nila, 540 plus 529 divided by 2, 540 plus 529 divided by 2 is so 11 over 534.5. Diba? Tapos, times 100. So, paano yun? 11 divided by 534.5 times 100. So, ibig sabihin, ang guys, standard deviation yan, 2.06%. So, within 10% ba? Definitely yes. So, pwede ka na mag-proceed sa computation mo. Anong gagamitin mo? Yung average. Okay? So, proceed. So, 534.5 times 200 divided by 0.02. 534.5 times 100 divided by 0.02. Anong sagot? Ang sagot ay 2,672,500 500 per cubic millimeter. Anemic. Alright, so, ayan. It's that simple, no? Alright. Now, so, reporting of RBC result. Ayan. Explain ko na sa inyo kanina kung paano siya nangyayari. Now, these are some considerations which I really don't buy. Bakit, sir? Well, for starters, inaccurate nga siya. So, what's the point? Pero, simple lang naman. May dalawa lang naman kayong variations with this one. Meron lang naman kayong dalawang complications with this one. Paano yun, sir? Let's say, for example, yung pasyente may polycythemia or anemia. Yes. Now, yes, so pag polycythemia, alam nyo na yan, you have a lot of cells, red cells in particular. So, you have to increase the dilution. Meanwhile, kapag ang anemic ng patient, you don't have enough red cells, you have to decrease your dilution. Alright? Now, I'm going to leave this one to you. I believe at this point, this is rather self-explanatory. Alright, so now the next topic will be about manual WBC count. Vocal cord break lang muna, no? Alright.